The story of Santos Rodriguez begins here in Little Mexico, where he lived with his 84-year-old grandfather. On July 23, 1973, 12-year-old Santos and his brother David played ball into the evening. The boys said they got home around 10:30 and went to bed. Their grandfather, Carlos Menez, did an interview with WFAA.
A las 11 estaban dormidos. 20 para las 3 llegó la ley buscándolos.
He says on July 24th, officers Roy Arnold and Daryl Kane dragged the boys from their beds.
Y ya les abrí la puerta y entraron y los levantaron y los esposaron. Los esposaron y los cargaron al carro y se lo llevaron.
Less than an hour later, Santos would be dead.
The death story of a 12-year-old Dallas boy began here at the FINA service station on Cedar Springs.
We retrieved the police reports from the city archives and found the officers and 13-year-old David Rodriguez's statements.
$8 in cash was missing.
According to Officer Arnold, he was investigating the burglary of this cigarette dispenser at a FINA gas station on Cedar Springs.
Two boys were spotted early Tuesday morning breaking into the back window of the service station.
Arnold and Kane went to the Rodriguez home to find them.
Two officers picked up 12-year-old Santos Rodriguez.
The police report says they found the boys in bed, fully clothed and sweating profusely. David told investigators, "We had not left the house after we got home at 10 o'clock. We never went to the service station like the officers said." But still, the brothers were arrested. David said, "They took us outside and put us in the police car. They put me in the back seat and Santos in the front seat."
In an attempt to make
what happened next would spark outrage.
Seconds later, Santos couldn't answer any questions.
Officer Monty Monsiváis was a rookie in 1973. He recalls that night.
And it was horrific. And I was in shock.
Officer Kane wanted a confession, so he played Russian roulette with Santos while the child was handcuffed.
While the handcuffed boys were sitting inside the car,
he wrote, "I pointed the gun at Santos's head and said, 'Tell the truth,' and pulled the trigger, and the gun clicked because the cylinder was empty. Santos said something to the effect that he was telling the truth. I pulled the trigger again just to scare him, and this time the gun fired."
He was dead with a bullet in the left temple.
David told investigators, "The officer in the back seat took his gun out and pointed it at my brother's face, and it didn't fire. Then he said, 'This time I got a bullet in it.' Then he fired the gun one more time and shot him in the face. He started yelling, 'Oh my God.'" Frank Dyson was the Dallas police chief at the time.
It's hard to understand what caused a man to do something like this. It's hard to explain, and it's hard to accept.
Patrolman Daryl Kane was arraigned for the boys' murder this morning. A charge of murder with malice has been filed against Kane.
When the shooting happened, there was a lot of anger toward the police department, and certainly for police officers.
The anger spilled onto the streets.
A number of the demonstrators turned violently on 4 police officers.
Former WFAA photojournalist John Goodjohnson shot the protest video.
Everybody was just so angry about it.
And then cop motorcycles were set on fire. Police moved in to make arrests as some of the protesters began looting stores.
That left a trail of destruction up and down Main and Commerce Street.
The murder of a 12-year-old boy in the backseat of a police car, you can understand it, that it shouldn't have happened.
Monsiváis says the department wasn't ready for this.
They gave us a helmet and a shotgun, and they said, "Go respond."
Amid the anger and tension, the Rodriguez family dealt with the pain and the loss of Santos and prayed for justice.
The people here lament the fate of Santos.
Justice that didn't come.
Kane had pled not guilty and that the shooting of Santos Rodriguez was an accident.
Daryl Kane went to trial. For his defense, he claimed he didn't know the gun was loaded, but fellow officers testified the bullets were still in the gun when they took it from him.
Will you make any comment?
An all-white jury convicted Kane of murder with malice. He faced 5 to life. The jury gave him the minimum of 5 years in prison. He was released from jail pending an appeal.
The police, I guess back in those days, were kind of the untouchables. You just didn't mess with the police.
Ultimately, it took 5 more years to finally send Cain to prison. He was out in 2.5.
It's what Officer Roy Arnold could have done, if anything.
Officer Arnold was never prosecuted for his role for not intervening, but he was fired by DPD. 50 years later, the pain, the hurt, the anger still lingers.
Of course, the unanswered question in everybody's mind is why?
And those who lived it try to find peace by remembering Santos.
Why does 12-year-old Santos Rodriguez have to be dead?
In Dallas, I'm Rebecca Lopez.